bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all in nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, yeah, in the limit, yeah. Super fly for the Dumbos, plenty slides I can shuffle. Hit the cadence with my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, about the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'ma step no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, not me. I can never be the one you wanna stuff for. Money, that machine. The Ferragamo stove. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. After like a 9/11, folks. Matt Black.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Michael Brockers in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Move. Lucky 50.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Vikings send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Shreds the tackle. He breaks through another tackle. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Kaiser now to throw on first down. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Let's go! 1, 9!
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
a second down throw for Kaiser. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Packers. Will Fuller with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Second down, Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play there, Cousins to Thielen, 43 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. First down, here's the run with Cook. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Gun. Move, move.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And this is taken in at the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And they got the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least 1 home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. To throw is Kaiser. Being chased out left. And that'll be incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football.
Come on, let's go.
Play action now. Kaiser. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there, hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Bailey now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Kaiser now on second down. Looking deep for Adams. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 51 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Here we go.
First down, Kaiser. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Come on, let's go. Try 38.
They'll throw again. Kaiser. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they've got a decision to make here on 4th down and 2. And Crosby puts it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And out now come the Vikings. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways. But right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A first down throw for Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, It tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On second down, Cook. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Rhino! Where's the hot? Rhino!
Cousins on 3rd and 2. That's caught by Treadwell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota first. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Yellow!
Cousins now on 2nd down. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown to this first half. A 2nd one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. This from 54 yards away. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it.
Move! Yellow!
Throwing, Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Bailey now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. first down carry by Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Kaiser now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. Fuller brings it in over the middle, and he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Here we go. Try 38.
After the penalty, it's Jones. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. More from Minneapolis after this.
Let's go. What?
Off the play fake, Kaiser. That is caught inside the 5. And he's brought down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Here we go. What?
Kaiser will sneak it, and he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. DeShone Kizer with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-17. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's got some space here.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Kaiser from the gun on third. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one.
Well, Ray, seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half. Unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Well, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Hey, flipper.
Cousins on 1st down. Lets it fly for Thielen. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Cousins now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10.
Where's the hot? Hey, Ringo, 48.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. Cousins now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking. See that?
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go.
Oh, wide open, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They give him a gain of 38.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Morgan. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Hey, 382, last 50.
On 1st down, Murray. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Rhino!
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Aldrick Robinson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule.
And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Linval Joseph with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Flex round!
They go play action. Kaiser going up top. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Play fake. Kaiser. He's going to let this go deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, Is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. That was 2nd down run for Murray. And an alley to run. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. So the penalty really winds up hurting him there.
Yeah, it winds up pushing him back. Sure enough, the field goal comes up short.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz. They're able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Kaiser. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 36. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big run there, 29 yards and a 1st. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And this one is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Flushed out right. Lets it fly for Treadwell. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight, He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence. His belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First thrown out for the backup, Rodgers. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Anderson-Dejo. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Whoosh. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. That's Graham. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they could do their damage a different way, break a few tackles, and really scatter some people, can't they?
83 yards receiving now for him on the afternoon as he's got a 1st down here. They go play action here on 1st down. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
To throw is Rodgers. And incomplete on the deep ball. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Rodgers got to have this one. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Again, this is Cook. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
A handoff. It's Murray. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game.
Deshaun Jackson off to the races. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 45 yards. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Here's Rodgers to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And again, it's Rodgers. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They run it again with Cook. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Vikings on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. The Vikings on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 38 yards on the scamper there.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves them with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking.